Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube live. All right, we're starting at 12 noon on the dot. All right, in this YouTube live, I'm going to be talking to you about what my career as a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central consultant is all about. So let's wait for others to join. All right, so thank you for joining this live. If this is your first time of coming across my channel, you're welcome. And if you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. And if you are not yet a subscriber, kindly subscribe so that when next I go live or when I upload videos relating to tech or other topics that I usually talk about, you would be notified. All right, so give me a few minutes. Let's wait till 12 so that other people can join us. Okay, guys, let's get right into it. It's 11:59 a.m., so it's just 1 minute to 12 noon. So let's get right into it. All right. Hi again, everyone. My name is Yetunde Adeleye. I'm a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central consultant. All right. What that means is that I am a Microsoft um, consultant. I have expertise, all right, to deploy one of Microsoft's many products, all right. So Microsoft has so many products. Microsoft has so many business applications, and one of their business applications is what we call the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Now, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central is an ERP system. Okay, I will tell you what all of these terminologies, what they mean. I will tell you what they mean. All right, so I am an expert, or I have trained, okay, to be able to deploy Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. All right, so I have trained as a functional consultant to deploy that application. Okay, so let me go right into defining what the terminologies are. All right, so first of all, I mentioned that I am a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central functional consultant. So let's start with Business Central. So Business Central is a business application. What does that mean? It means that Business Central is a software used by businesses, all right, to run their day-to-day activities or to manage their day-to-day processes, all right. So I mentioned again that Business Central is an ERP system. What does an ERP system mean? ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay, so What's an enterprise resource planning solution? An enterprise resource planning solution simply refers to a business application that has features or that has functionality to manage all kind of business processes, irrespective of the department that uses the business process. You know that in every organization they have several departments. Yeah, there are several departments in every organization. Each department will have software that they use to run their day-to-day activity. Now an ERP system now takes all the silo applications or all the different applications that each department uses. It takes it and puts all of their functions into one application to make just one single software. So imagine that you work in an organization where we have there's HR department, there's sales department, there's business development department, there is maybe it's a production company. Let's say it's a production company. You have those that are working in the production department. All of them have different software that they use. Now each of these software are managed by different people, but ERP systems now take each of these different softwares and combine them into one. All right, so we now have one software doing all the work that the different softwares should be doing or are doing. All right, so that's an ERP system. So an ERP system is an application that is able to do all the work that individual ERP systems or individual softwares are doing. Okay, so Business Central, like I mentioned earlier, is an ERP system. This means that Business Central has features or is able to perform all the functions that a single or that different applications are doing. All right, different software used by different departments, the functions that they perform. Business Central is able to perform the function that each of these individual software are performing. Business Central is able to perform all of that functions. Business Central has features, it has functionalities to perform all these different features or all these different processes that individual softwares are performing. All right, so that's what makes Business Central an ERP system. Okay, so now let's move on to my role as a Business Central functional consultant. Okay, what does it mean to be a Business Central functional consultant? It means that I am able to implement Business Central. That means I am able to set up Business Central for a business to be able to use it. So Business Central is not like your application from that you can download from Google Play. Okay, you know we have all these applications, all this software, like our cab hailing softwares, like our food ordering apps that we just download from Google Play, and all we need to do is to set it up on our phone and then we start using it. So Business Central is not like that. All right, Business Central, you cannot just download Business Central from Google Play and then start using it. No, you need somebody who is knowledgeable in setting up the application to set it up for you, either on your desktop or your laptop or your phone, before you can start using it. Okay, so I, as a functional consultant, I am able to set up Business Central for an organization so that they can start using it. Okay, so that's one of what I do as a Business Central functional consultant. Okay, so another thing I do is that as a Business Central functional consultant, I am able to train people to use Business Central. Okay, recall that I said that Business Central is an ERP system. All right, it's not like every other application that you can just download and then start using. You need someone to train you on how to use it. So I have that expertise, or I am skilled to do that, to deploy the application, to train people on how to use the application. Okay, so as a Business Central functional consultant, what else can I do, or what else should you be able to do? I am able to set up all the different features of the application. Okay, so Business Central has several features, all right, that is useful for several departments across different industries. So Business Central is kind of application that it can be used in different industries. It can be used in sales and trading industry. It can be used in retail businesses. It can be used by manufacturing companies. It can be used by real estate companies and oil and gas. Any kind of business that you run can use Business Central. Okay, so as a functional consultant or as a Business Central functional consultant, I am able to train every user of the application, irrespective of the industry they belong to, on how to use the system. I'm also able to set up the application for different organization irrespective of the industry that they belong to. All right, so next, what else can I do as a Business Central functional consultant, or what else should a Business Central functional consultant be able to do? You should be able to demo the application. What do I mean by that? So before you sell the application, or before someone or organization uses the application, they require you to come and show them how the application works. All right, so I should be able to show a prospective client how the application works. I should be able to tell him what the features of the application are, all the functionalities of the application. I should be able to convince him, a prospect or a prospective client that is looking to deploy the application, I should be able to convince them that this is the application that they need for their business. So they would have told me what they are looking for, all right, what they are looking for, the problems that they have in their business. Then I should be able to tell them how Business Central can solve the problems that they have in their organization. All right, so that's one of the things I should be able to do as a Business Central functional consultant. All right, so what else should I be able to do? I should also be able, all right, to I should be able to do what we call requirement gathering. All right, so after I have been able to convince the customer or the prospect that, okay, this is the application that you need, this is the business application that can solve all your problems. Now I should be able to do what we call requirement gathering. So after we have convinced the client or the prospect, okay, that buy this application, so when they have agreed to buy, the first step that we do, all right, is what we call the requirement gathering or the impact analysis. In this stage, we listen to the prospective client or the prospective users of the application. They tell us what they want the application to do for them. Okay, so I should be able to listen to all the different department users of the application. They would tell me what they want the application to do for them. All right, and my duty as a functional consultant is to be able to gather all of those things that they said they want the application to do for them. All right, gather everything and make it into a document that we call the functional requirement document, FRD. So after I've listened to all the prospective users of the application, I would come up with a document to show them that, okay, I understand what you said you want the application to do for you. This is what you said you want the application to do for you. And then I present that document to them. They look at the document, they agree or disagree that, oh, you didn't capture this properly. This is what we meant. And then I'm able to review the document over and over again till the prospective users of the application agree that, okay, yes, you have captured fully everything that we said we want the application to do for us. Okay, so as a Business Central functional consultant, you should be able to do that. You should be able to gather the requirements of the prospective users and use it to come up with a document called the functional requirement document, which the users or the team leads or the project sponsors will eventually sign off on to say, yes, we agree. This is what we say we want. Okay. All right. So again, as a functional consultant, Business Central functional consultant, I should also be able to interpret the requirements of the client to the developers. All right, so for every implementation project, every time we want to set up Business Central for a prospective client, there are different people on the team, okay, that does that process or that does the project. So functional consultants are one of the people that will be on the team. Developers are one of the set of teams that will be on the team. Developers are those people that write codes. They are those people that are able to customize the application. What do I mean by customize? I mean they are able to tweak the business application to suit individual customer preferences. Yes, even though Business Central is an application that you can just buy and then start using, some people will say, oh, we still want to streamline the application. We want to tweak the application to meet our own specific need in our organization. So developers are those people that can write codes to tweak the application to meet the requirement of the client or the specific need of the client. All right, so as a functional consultant, I should be able to interpret the requirements of the client that I've gathered and explain it or interpret it to the developers in a language that they will understand. All right, I should be able to help the developers to see the vision of the client. All right, I should be able to help the developers to see the vision of the client for that application, because the developers sometimes don't interact with the client at all. They mostly interact with a functional consultant. So I should be able to help. I should be the eye of the developer in the implementation project. I should be his eye in the client's to help him understand what the client really wants the application to do for them. Okay, so if I myself do not understand what the client wants, then how am I going to interpret it to my developers? So as a functional consultant, you should be able to interpret the client's requirements and translate it into what the developers can understand and what the developers can work with. Okay, so I should be able to also, as a functional consultant, I should be able to walk the customers or the users through testing the application. All right, so once we have started implementing the application or setting up the application for the client, we do what we call testing. All right, so as we go through the processes, we test that every feature is working the way it ought to work. So as a functional consultant, you should be able to do that process of testing the application to ensure that it works the way it is supposed to work. Because if the application does not work the way it's supposed to work, then it's not going to meet the client's need. The client is not going to be able to use it. So I should be able, as a Business Central functional consultant, I should be able to test the application and ensure that it is working the way it's supposed to work. All right, so we use what we call the test scripts. So as a functional consultant, you should also be able to come up with the test scripts. Now, the test script is like a list of processes. So if you are to perform an action in the application, there are a series of steps, all right, that you need to go through to perform that action. So those series of tests or steps is what we put together to form the test scripts. All right, so as a Business Central functional consultant, you should be able to come up with a test script for testing your application while it is undergoing setup. Okay, you should also be able to train people on how to use the application. After you have set up the application, all the people who are going to use the application, you need to train them. You need to show them how to use the application. So as a Business Central functional consultant, it is one of your requirements or one of your duties to be able to train the end users or the people who are going to use the application on how to use the application. Okay, so let's move on to, I've talked about what it means to be a Business Central functional consultant, or what you need to be able to do, or as a Business Central functional consultant, what your role entails. I've talked about that in summary. Okay, so now let's talk about what are the requirements to be a Business Central functional consultant, what do you need to what do you need to have, or what kind of skill sets do you need to have, okay, to be able to be a Business Central functional consultant? So first of all, I will talk about the technical skills that you need, then I'll talk about the soft skills that you need. Okay, so for the technical skills, you need to be trained as a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central functional consultant. You need to be trained. All right, so how do you get training to become a Business Central functional consultant? One, you could go to tech training academies. So tech training academies who are Microsoft partners are usually able to train you to become a Business Central functional consultant. For example, the organization where I work, Realtech Business Solutions Limited, we have a tech academy where we train people to become Business Central functional consultants. Okay, so you can look up maybe on LinkedIn or Google, you can look up Microsoft partners in Nigeria. Okay, so when you look them up, you will find the ones that have a training academy, and you can go to them to get trained to become a Business Central functional consultant. You can also self-learn. It might take longer, but if you are determined, you can actually self-learn. Okay, so if you go to what we call the Microsoft Learn, you will see the training curriculum. There's a training pathway that you can follow to get trained to become a Business Central functional consultant. Okay, it's a series of short videos, text and all of that, and then that involves tests that you can go through. It's a course that you can go through. Depending on how fast you are, you can self-learn. And there's also, on that Microsoft Learn, there's also the parts where you may pay to have a tutor you. You can also go through the free training if you know that you will be able to catch up by yourself, okay, to become a Business Central functional consultant. Okay, I got trained. I paid to be trained. I went to one of the Microsoft partner companies in Nigeria. I went through one of their courses. I got trained. I paid for my training, and that was how I became a Business Central functional consultant. When I got trained with them, luckily for me, they retained me after my training, so I got hands-on experience. Okay, so that's how to get your technical skill for you to become a Microsoft Dynamics Business Central functional consultant. Okay, so you can also do certifications. There are certification courses that you can also do. So there is the Microsoft Dynamics Business Central functional consultant associate course. It's also on Microsoft Learn. When you go there, you see the course. You pay to write the exam, and once you write the exam and you pass, you get your certification. But getting the certification may not be immediate. You can trade and then start working if you are lucky enough to get internship with one of Microsoft partners. Okay, once you start your internship and you get and start working, after a while you can do your certification. You don't necessarily have to do your certification before you start working. I didn't get my certification until last year, and that was 5 years into actually working as a functional consultant. Okay, so but if you can get your certification immediately, it's also very good. Okay, so that's the technical skill that you require. Now, what course do you have to study in the university? Honestly, you could have studied any course. You could have studied any course in your university, in your undergraduate level. All right, you don't have to have studied computer science. You don't have to have studied computer engineering or information. No, I studied industrial chemistry. I got into tech and I got trained. All right, so as long as you can understand the training, as long as you can go through this training process and you can understand what you have been trained in, and you get hands-on training or hands-on experience by working with a team of people who are deploying the application. You don't have to have studied computer science. You could have studied anything whatsoever in the university. So that's all about technical skills. Now let's talk about the soft skills that you require to be a Business Central functional consultant. One of the soft skills that you require is negotiation. You should be able to negotiate, because you are going to be, as a functional consultant, you are going to be negotiating with, of course, the organization you are working for. They will have sales team, they will also have business development team, but you are also going to be working with the sales and the business development team to be able to win the projects. So you should be able to negotiate. All right, you may have to also be negotiating the cost of the project if your business development team is not really skilled to do that. So as a functional consultant, you may also be negotiating costs. All right, so you should have negotiation skills. Another soft skill that you should have persuasion. So persuasion and negotiation, they work hand in hand. You should be able to persuade someone to buy the application. Yes, your sales team will do their part, your business and business development team will do their part, but you as a functional consultant, you should also be able to persuade, you should also be able to convince someone to buy or to see the value of the application that you are trying to sell to them. Okay, so another soft skill that you require is you should be able to work in a team. You should be able to be a team player, because as a functional consultant, you are going to be like the middleman, or you are going to be like the connecting bridge between your prospective client, your business development and sales team, and then when you eventually win the project, you are going to be the connecting bridge between your developers and the clients. All right, so you should have the ability to work in a team. You should be somebody that can relate well with people, work well with people. Okay, so that brings me to the next soft skill. Your next soft skill should be, you should have how do I call it now? You should have people skills. All right, you should have excellent communication skills. Okay, because you are going to be, like I said, you are going to be demoing the application to prospective buyers. You are going to be training people on how to use the application. So you should have excellent communication skills. You should be able to speak well. You should be able to write well, because you are going to be sending emails, all right, to your clients. You are going to be sending emails to prospective clients. You are going to be sending email to your users. So you should have excellent communication skills. You should be able to communicate properly, efficiently, and effectively, both written and both spoken. You are going to be speaking with execs of companies. So you should be able to be able to communicate effectively. You should also be confident. That's another soft skill that you need, because for you to communicate effectively and efficiently, especially when you're speaking, you should be confident. Confidence is one of the soft skills that you need to be a Business Central functional consultant. All right, so what else do you need? What soft skills do you, or another soft skill that you need? You need to be able to work under pressure, because trust me, you are going to be under a lot of pressure. Because see, you have gone to demo the application, you have told the clients that the application is able to solve all of their problems, so the clients will be on your neck that you must deliver what you have promised them. So if you are somebody who cannot work well under pressure, you may have a lot of problem, because once the client puts a lot of pressure on you, you end up going to put a lot of pressure on your team members, and that may affect the way, or that may cause friction within your team. So you should be somebody who is able to cope with pressure if you are going to be efficient or effective as a Business Central functional consultant. All right, so another skill that you will need is customer relationship. You are going to be relating with your clients. Recall that I said that you are going to be the bridge or connecting bridge between your team and the client's team. So you need to be able to ensure customer satisfaction. All right, you need to be able to listen to the complaints of people and not be emotional about it. All right, because people will complain to you when they have problems. Some people will even come and tell you, hey, your application is trash, your application is not working well, Meanwhile, they might even be the reason why the application is having problems. Okay, so you should be able to deal with people, especially when they are not being nice. So you need customer relationship or people management skills, all right, to be able to manage people when they are running wild on emotion, to be able to contain your own emotion. And then the next soft skill that you also need is emotional intelligence. You need to be emotionally intelligent to be able to relate with people irrespective of who they are, the position that they hold, or how they are behaving. Because trust me, the users of the application, they sometimes behave in a way that could make you go haywire if you are not careful. So you need to be emotionally intelligent as a Business Central functional consultant, so that you be recall that at the end of the day, it's the success of your project that you are concerned about. So you need to be able to pipe low when others are piping hot. You need to be able to come with the coolness when others are being rash. So you need to be emotionally intelligent enough not to be rash, but to be able to contain your emotion and realize that no, it's not about me. The work has to be done. All right, so those are the soft skills that you need to be able to effectively function as a Business Central functional consultant. All right, so lastly today, what let me talk about. Okay, I've spoken about what it means to be a Business Central functional consultant. I've also spoken about um, what your role as a Business Central functional consultant entails. I've also spoken about the skills that you need, the technical skills and the soft skills that you need to be a Business Central functional consultant. All right, so what else? What else? What else? I don't think there is anything else to say. All right, so as with other aspect of tech, being a Business Central functional consultant takes a lot of time. Okay, it's not something, you do not become an expert overnight. So you need to bring in your patience, you need to wear your patience cap. Okay, if you want to be a Business Central functional consultant, you need to be ready to learn, to keep learning. Because see, the Microsoft application, Business Central function, Business Central, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central keeps evolving every day. All right, new features keeps being added. They add new features almost every now and then. So you need to be ready to keep learning. You need to be ready to keep up with the innovation. It's a like the name implies, Business Central Microsoft Dynamics. So it's a dynamic application. It's an application that keeps evolving. So you as a Business Central functional consultant, you need to keep evolving with it. As the application is evolving, you also should be evolving. Okay, so you must be somebody who is willing and ready to keep learning, because new features will come out every day. And recall that you are the one to introduce the new features to your clients, even the people that you have already deployed the application for. You will keep introducing the new features to them. Okay, you will keep training them on how to use the new features. So if you yourself don't even know that there are new features, how then do you want to introduce the new features to your clients? Or how then do you want to train your clients on the use of the new features? All right, so that's all it takes, or that's all about being a Microsoft Dynamics 365 functional consultant. If you have further questions, you can send me an email at lifeofayomimommy@gmail.com. I'll respond to your email, or you can just leave me a comment. Once this live video is posted, you can leave me a comment on the live video and I will respond to it. All right, thank you very much for joining this live session. Till I come your way again in another live session, it's bye for now. And you can do well to subscribe to my channel. I have several videos that I have uploaded before that talks about the tech industry generally. So if you have questions about the tech industry generally, you can go through my tech playlist. You will see, you might find one of my videos to be helpful. All right, so thank you again for joining this live session. Till I come your way in another live session or in my videos, it's bye for now.